The water may appear calm, yet it is where the rules are rewritten. On land, strength dominates. In water, every calculation must change. A crocodile does not need to chase. It waits for the moment a boundary is crossed. Once distance disappears, speed and endurance lose much of their value. At the intersection of land and water, who truly controls survival? Along a quiet riverbank, the jaguar moves like a shadow, leaving no warning behind. The caiman rests in shallow water, trusting its natural armor to manage risk. But on land, advantage belongs to the one who controls space and timing. The crocodile approaches with familiar confidence, misjudging the opponent ahead. Even without tusks, the young elephant is far from fragile. Pressed into a sudden threat, it reacts forcefully to protect itself. At times, the strongest survival instincts emerge in the youngest individuals. A body weighing thousands of pounds can still become vulnerable while drinking. Yet an attempt does not guarantee success. For an adult elephant, a timely response alone can unravel the plan. The calf has no time to register danger before the water stirs. Instantly, the herd reacts as a single unit without signals or hesitation. The presence of numbers quickly turns the situation around. An ordinary moment at the water's edge becomes a critical weakness. The crocodile uses brief disorder to close in on the smallest target. The baboon mother rushes forward not from strength, but from protective instinct. However, not every act of resistance leads to the outcome hoped for. Two crocodiles move in silently, believing coordination will bring advantage. They underestimate the herd's response. In an instant, the balance shifts as adult elephants step in. Collective pressure forces the predators to withdraw. Timely coordination remains a decisive factor in survival. When a territorial boundary is suddenly crossed, the male lion moves in, aiming for a swift resolution. The crocodile does not panic. Immediate reflexes help maintain a safe distance. The encounter ends when both sides recognize that the risk outweighs the reward. The buck charges into the water at remarkable speed, but this is not an environment where confidence lasts. The distance closes faster than expected as the crocodile advances in silence. A short, well-timed dive creates the only opening for escape. The crocodile chooses the wrong target after entering hippo territory. Within seconds, calm turns into overwhelming pressure from every direction. Caught between sheer mass and numbers, the hunter completely loses control of the situation. Three lions close in, applying steady pressure from multiple angles. The crocodile remains composed, holding its ground, jaws exposed as a clear boundary. No strike is needed, only enough threat to force hesitation. Sometimes survival comes not from numbers, but from making others think twice. A single moment of misjudgment pulls the lion into unfamiliar water. Reflex decides everything, not strength. The confrontation must end quickly before the balance shifts too far. The crocodile's silent presence disrupts the sense of safety on the grassland. The horse charges forward to drive it away, acting faster than thought. An immediate counter forces a sudden retreat.
Yes, we are. Here we are. This is happening.
The crocodile moves too early, unaware it has been surrounded. The disturbance triggers a chain reaction from nearby adults. The hunt ends before it truly begins. In the wild, haste often means losing control. The standoff unfolds in tense silence. The jaguar advances without speed, relying instead on precise positioning. One accurate hold is enough to lock the situation in place. On land, control belongs to the one who commands space. Danger is close, yet the baboon troop does not retreat. They rush in amid disorder, driven not by strategy, but by protective instinct. Sustained pressure forces the crocodile to release. Sometimes, unity becomes the strongest defense for those at a disadvantage. The small otter approaches without visible fear. Quick, unpredictable movements wear down the crocodile's patience. No contact follows, but the message is unmistakable. Sunlight makes the riverbank seem safe until sudden pressure arrives. The lions close in, escape routes sealed in moments. The crocodile avoids confrontation, sliding into the grass and vanishing. Water opens a path to safety. Familiar boundaries protect those who withdraw in time. A calm surface hides a breath waiting for the right moment. The crocodile barely moves, relying on patience and position. Though the impala remains cautious, the danger line narrows in silence. The approach unfolds too quickly to allow a second option. Thirst draws careful steps toward a dangerous edge. The cheetah hesitates for a brief moment, not long enough to turn back. A sudden close approach rises from the water, everything happening at once. The riverbank repeats an old rule: survival needs can cloud awareness. Two male lions step into the river, each movement heavy and cautious. When the crocodile seizes a brief opening, confusion erupts instantly. The trailing lion moves without hesitation, pulling its partner away from danger. Amid the turmoil, protective instinct keeps both on solid ground. A sudden close approach tests the kudu antelope's reflexes. A single mistimed step could change everything. The kudu pivots at the right moment, breaking the hold. Quick reactions carry the crossing to safety. A rare encounter unfolds in silence. The tiger does not rush, approaching with the confidence of one that controls the space. When the decisive move occurs, resistance becomes meaningless. In that moment, strength is no longer a challenge. It is the conclusion. The riverbank becomes a fragile boundary between instinct and calculation. The lioness does not step back, even as each turn of the crocodile carries unpredictable risk. In unfamiliar ground, it chooses confrontation over waiting. In nature, decisiveness can matter as much as strength. Not every encounter ends in contact. The lions recognize that water is not a domain they control. Rather than risk everything, they accept a rare margin of safe distance. Survival is not only about winning, but about knowing when to stop. Crossing the river is not a choice, but a necessity to reach fresh grazing ground. As the zebra herd compresses midstream, safe distance nearly disappears. The crocodiles do not need to pursue, only to hold position at the narrowest point. In murky water, danger often arrives before awareness does. The moment the crocodile reaches the bank, the balance shifts immediately. 3 tigers appear, no growls, no haste. Their positioning alone delivers a clear message. In the forest, territory is sometimes decided before conflict begins. Initial stillness hides more than a single threat. The crocodile chooses its moment, turning disorder into opportunity. The arrival of hippos reverses the situation in an instant. On the plains, escape is only the beginning of the next trial. The jaguar remains patient, yet experience alone is not enough. A precise leap comes close, missing only a decisive fraction of time. The prey slips free, leaving the water still once more. In the world of hunting, failure is a necessary lesson on the path to maturity. Every movement is calculated before entering the water. The jaguar acts with certainty, leaving no room for error. The fusion of sharp senses and strength creates a flawless moment. Nature rewards those who know how to wait for the right time. A confined space makes every movement tense. The crocodile turns slowly, each motion pressing the opponent into a weaker position. The python senses the balance has shifted and chooses to withdraw. In this encounter, survival comes from knowing when to stop. The confrontation unfolds at very close range between crocodile and python. Size and jaw force create a clear advantage for the ambusher. A decisive reflex cuts off any chance of reversal. There is no prolonged struggle. The outcome is set from the very first moment. Driven by wild dogs, the wild boar turns toward the river. But the shoreline opens into another threat. The crocodile appears at the moment distance is at its smallest. 2 pressures converge, leaving few choices. Terrain decides where speed cannot. At the water's edge, the crocodile controls the space around newly secured prey. The large python no longer has the ability to respond effectively. All movement slows. There is no outside interference. The area returns to its familiar stillness. A crocodile does not need to control the entire river, only the narrow point where water meets land. What, in your view, makes crocodiles among the most dangerous hunters in this environment? Share your perspective in the comments and subscribe to continue exploring the harsh encounters of the wild.